We're going to do live ABs here in about 2 hours.
Okay,
so
okay. Gonna get that working in.
We're going to run through a lot of those guys who are going to throw one inning today. Yeah, you like to get back out on the field, but obviously I think we made the right call.
Sure.
Looking at what the weather did last night, and we're going to try to reschedule. I don't know if we can get. We're both looking at a couple dates, but we'll just see. But no, we're going to get our work in today.
Okay. Well, going into Tennessee, just kind of had the tough weekend against Kentucky, sweep against Alabama, go back on the road against Tennessee, a tough place to play. Just kind of what do you think this team is right now as far as what you were hoping it would be?
Yeah, no, I mean, I like where we are. It was good. It's never good to get swept, but I mean, the good part of it was we were able to come back and show that we can answer. After a tough weekend where things didn't go our way at all, and so it was good to see that. You hope you don't have to answer like that the rest of the year, but that it's a tough lead. So you're going into Tennessee. That what are they, fifth in the country or eighth, or there's all kinds of polls, right? So whatever, they're a really good baseball team. We're good too, and so you just want to go play good. That's all. That's all I keep working to tell our guys. We want to focus. I don't know so much if it's focusing more. I talked to him the other day about concentration more too, right? I mean, there is a difference. Like it can be so easy. You can get so distracted easily on the road that you better be able to focus, concentrate, whatever your word is. And so we're gonna do some things today to work on that.
What is the hardest part about winning on the road? I think you look around the league and home teams are 11-3 in series so far.
I think everybody in our league, because it's extremely competitive, is doing a really good job of recruiting to their ballpark. I made that comment earlier today. Some people we'll just use Kentucky, not because they swept us or whatever, but just using, they play in one of the biggest ballparks in all of college baseball, and they're built around speed. Don't get me wrong, you're always looking for the big, fast guy who steals bases. Those guys typically don't show up on college campuses. They go to the draft. But, you want both. Obviously, you don't get them. So what teams I think are figuring out is, all right, well, let's play to our ballpark. For us, we decided to try to go power and not worry about speed as much right now. And so I think you look, and that's what you're seeing is teams are pitching staffs and position players are built more for their ballpark.
Coach, I can't remember if it was you or somebody who were talking about Henry Hunter. Talking about he's one of the hardest workers on this team. Was that you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I mean, he's right there at the top, man. You're not, Henry. You're not going. Henry's got that to use that, even though we're not in war or anything of those. He's got a Navy SEAL work ethic.
Wow.
It's impressive. It's very impressive.
Is that something you knew when you were trying to get him from UAB, or?
Well, we had heard that.
Okay.
When you go through all your, as I call it, the non-baseball. Investigating of a player, and we had heard nothing but great things about him on that side. And so, you look, he had a decent freshman year, and then obviously struggled last year. And so when you get guys who you hear have that kind of work ethic, and they have at least a little bit of a track record to go off of, you feel really good that you might be able to get them to another level. And I think that's where Henry is right now.
How about his receiving, framing pitches, that kind of thing? What kind of improvements have you seen there?
A ton. I mean, I think with what Coach Bennett's done with him, and even Fernando continues to get better. And even a little bit we've caught Logan Jordan. Logan's been really, really good. So just couldn't say enough about what Henry's doing. Just, I mean, does it? It's that old thing. Does it surprise you when somebody's having a good year as hard as you see them work every day? It doesn't surprise you. You just go, well, yeah, that's usually what happens when you put in that kind of work and you have a little talent and ability.
You have any update on Dylan Carter right now?
No, nothing big. Dylan be active this weekend, and I think it'll be more probably could be a Friday decision on what he can or can't do over the weekend.
Is it finger or hand with him?
It's finger.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes the finger's a little different animal than the hand. I mean, if it's hand, we're lucky it's not the
Yeah,
hand. The
yeah.
hand is probably more like
Hammer bone, first thing that pops to
Yeah,
mind
I
when you
mean,
get hit like
you look at like what happened with Josh Stinson. I mean,
Yeah.
then you're looking at 4 to 6. That's not the case with Dylan.
Yeah.
You mentioned that there's a couple of rankings out there. You guys cracked the top 25 in a couple of them this week. Just how big of a validation does that feel like, early in your time here, early in the season?
Guys, I'll just, I said so somebody this. If that gets us into a regional, then I care about it right now. If it doesn't, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's not even. We got to go. You look at our schedule. We got obviously every team's good. We go to Tennessee, then to Mississippi State. I mean, the magic number. Everybody knows it in this league is 15. And so, somebody asked me about that. I said, man, if all of a sudden that magically gets us to 15 wins, then I'm fired up about it. But I don't think it does.
That's the only number that matters too. That 15 wins you get in, I mean.
Yeah. So for us, I mean, cool for the fans, cool for some other people, but for us as a team, we know what it takes, and it is it is nice. It just shows the guys have been working hard. But as you guys know, there's been a lot of teams ranked at this point in time in the season and not make a regional tournament. So that's all we're shooting for.
You mentioned the fans there. Obviously, y'all put that video out yesterday, thanking them for coming out. Just
phenomenal.
How big was that to have that kind of support this weekend, and how big will it be continuing down the road?
Oh, it'll be massive. I mean, it made me think about our players, right? I mean, our players were the ones who were like, man, the ballpark felt great. It was jumping. We felt their energy. And I think another reason when you look at road versus home is adrenaline is a real thing. And crowds and all of that pulling for you, that only helps. And it only hurts, the other teams got to prepare for it. And some people get nervous in those situations and because they haven't been in this environment. And so, no, our crowd this weekend, I can't thank them enough. I mean, they get a piece of what we did this weekend.
How close is Matthew Hoskins to getting back on the mound a little bit?
He's getting there. We're hoping maybe. Well, I don't want. Here's the thing with those kind of injuries. I've been around them, especially even at the highest level. You can be tracking towards something, and you're always one hiccup away from backing it up another 10 days. I'd like to see him here in a 3 weeks or so. But just to put, so I'd say he's closer than he is further away.
Okay.
Tennessee obviously hits for power. From a pitching perspective, how do you approach a team like that?
You have to find their holes, and then, it's just like us, right? I mean, our offense, meaning every hitter has a hole. It doesn't matter who it is, who your favorite big leaguer is, they have a hole. You have to try to execute to that area. And if you don't, you know what's going to happen. They have a chance to get off a really good swing and hit the baseball really hard. And your goal is to stay out of those areas as much as possible.
Talk about 15 SEC wins kind of being that magic number, all those things. I'm curious, what do the non-conference win? I mean, what does non-conference games mean to you?
Oh, no. They mean a lot. They're huge, right? I mean, it's helping you prepare for those 15 wins. I mean, I can look back and it paid off a little bit this weekend. Everybody's like, hey, why are y'all doubling with Northern Colorado? Yeah, well, we had a chance to. That was an open weekend. I had to fill a couple games on the schedule, and I said, hey, if they want to double, that's great. That's going to give us an opportunity to be on our feet for 14 to 18 innings, which is not easy. There is something to be said. You got to be on your feet for that long. And so you look at what you do non-conference, just to use that one as an example. I felt like that, we talked about it before the game. Hey, guys, we've already done this once this year. No big deal. We've done it once. We're going to be on our feet all day. We're ready for it. We train for it. And so use your non-conference for a lot of those things like that.
Corey wins SEC Player of the Week this week. Just what's been the biggest key to his turnaround from what looked like a pretty frustrating start to the season?
Health. He's healthy, for starters. I think hitting behind Charlie, they've got to make a choice. His plate discipline, he doesn't chase a lot out of the strike zone. And so he's getting himself in favorable counts. And then, as you alluded to earlier, what's a pitching coach going to do? You're going to try to get Corey. You're going to try to get Charlie. Which one? And right now they're going right after Corey. And he's getting his fastball. When he's getting it, he's not missing.